So I'm going to take a minute and talk about experience. Talk about experience and experience in home service and repair. Okay, these guys that are out here offering home services, pressure washing is a service. Troubleshooting and repair is a specialty. It means that you've been around the block. You'll come into companies and they have a building department, and they have a construction department, and they have this department and that department, and then they have a service department. And what those people do is they go out on things that the other people do or that other people have done, and they make repairs. They fix the things that they don't have the experience dealing with. Most often that is the case. They just don't have the experience dealing with it, or they just don't give a shit. And it's about half and half, well, it's more of the lack of experience, because everybody thinks they can do stuff, and they say, oh, we got 40 years experience, we got, and here's a good one. Okay, so you have somebody out here who's 28 years old, and they have 40 years of experience. Like, really? Come on. So, this little valve right here, we had a service call a while back for a non-functioning electrical outlet. And here is the culprit. And you're thinking, well, that's a piece of copper. That's not electrical. Copper's in electrical. But this is copper, this is plumbing. What's this have to do with electrical? Well, you see, what it has to do with electrical is the fact that a valve similar to this was in a brand new renovation. Now, this will be the supply from the house incoming, the old stuff. This will be going out to the new stuff, okay? So, their experience, their 25, 35 years of experience told them to just turn this off and cut this, and then stick a little shark bite fitting on here so they can just push it on, and then push it on, and tie their brand new experienced plumbing stuff on into their brand new shower, their brand new toilet, their brand new bathtub, all of that stuff. But it's all being fed from here. The old stuff coming into an old gate valve, and then an old piece of copper. Now keep in mind, this is a compression fitting. These are compression, meaning they're nuts. They turn off. They're not soldered. They're not pushed on. Simple wrench, pop that thing right off, pop a brand new one right on there. Because these old gate valves, you can see right here this corrosion. Okay, this thing spins in, spins out. This is a good valve, and this is all mechanically replaceable, repairable, fixable. Every piece on this is replaceable to fix this and create a brand new valve, which these valves are 10 times better than the ball valves. The ball valves have a plastic ball in here that spins. This has a gate that raises up and down as the water flow comes in. You shut that gate down, it's kind of like a dam. You just shut the gates off on the dam, no water comes through. You open this stem up, boom, water comes through. There's a rubber seal in here, and on the inside of the copper pipe, there's always corrosion and junk from the water and the damage that water does. You see this green in here, this is all corrosion stuff. Excuse me. So what happens is this valve's put in brand new, and most often in the house, it's never turned off, or one time maybe off and on. Okay, so what happens is the corrosion builds up in here, the rubber becomes compromised, and then not only that, but when you spin this on, remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, okay, so your valve turns the same direction. So when you open this valve, it turns the same way that this nut comes off. so that whenever this stuff's all stuck and corroded and you go to break this valve loose, or you close it and then you reopen it, you release all the junk that's in here, plus you loosen this nut up, which creates a leak and a drip. An experienced person would never, ever, never, never, never leave an old shutoff valve going into brand new equipment, especially when there's an electrical outlet 10 inches away from this. Excuse me. So now back to the electrical. This valve that the experienced person put in, and I mean, they're like, they claim to be renowned and great, but this valve that they did not replace, which could have been a simple replacement. I mean, keep in mind, they only had, I'll show you the picture of it, they only had about 6 inches on that outside going out to the new stuff, and they cut it off here. They didn't even unscrew it here and put in a new piece of copper. They just cut it off here, stuffed a shark bite on it, and went on about the day. So then, when this valve started leaking, because it was closed and then open, and then this piece came loose, or this piece came loose because it opens up here. This is a vent. Yeah, it's got a directional flow arrow to show you which way the flow goes, so you can bleed air off with this. So, but anyway, this is what caused the electrical issue. It caused drywall repair, it caused electrical repair, and it caused a plumbing repair. Because somebody who was experienced didn't give a shit. And they said, ooh, I'm going to just shut this off here, because then I don't have to turn the water off to the whole house and deal with this. I don't know how to solder, and man, I'm going to save them $10. You know, this valve, the ball valves are about $10 or $12, probably 17 to 20 now. These valves, probably $10, but the service call, the drywall repair, the plumbing repair, the electrical repair, probably about $400, because of the experienced person couldn't simply replace this valve. Anyone who has experience in service work and plumbing knows about these valves. So if you have a gate valve in your system and your person's coming in and they're saying, oh, you don't need to worry about that, you do need to worry about that. You do need to worry about this, because it will leak. Because everything gets corroded up and sticks together. So when you break that apart, you have little chunks of stuff. And, you know, it's just about the experience. They say we have experience, and then they do stuff like this, and it's either they just don't give a shit, or, which is the most likely scenario, they don't have any experience, and they're just out here pushing fittings on a pipe because it's easy. I mean, the shark bite fittings are okay. You definitely don't want them inside of your wall, though, because, well, they just fault a lot. You know, any plumbing has the potential to leak, but this is a guaranteed leak. An old gate valve that has not been closed for 10 years, and then it's opened up, is going to leak. And in this case, it cost them a ton of money, even though, you know, in that brand new renovation in that bathroom, probably only 4 or 5 months old, but they're still out here doing them. So keep that in mind.